Hey guys, today I'll show you my list for the top 10 quotes from the arrowverse. For this list, we'll be taking a look at some of the best quotes from Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. Number 10. I'm Cyborg Superman. Supergirl. In this episode, we see that the real Hank Henshaw is not actually dead. Instead, he was kept quiet by Cadmus, an organization that, well, basically doesn't like any aliens. It turns out that they actually kept Henshaw's body a secret, and they augmented him to make him stronger. And in the first episode we see him is when he's in a fight with Kara when she goes looking for Mon-El. And when he's had her beaten and when he's knocked her out, he says, "Hank Henshaw is dead. I am Cyborg Superman," revealing to Kara that she has a new and powerful enemy. Number 9. My name is Zoom. The Flash. In Season 2, we have a new evil speedster by the name of Zoom. Now, at first, Barry does try to be brave against him, but he is actually incredibly powerful. But in the episode when Barry loses his speed, Zoom has taken control of the it's the same. Sorry, let me try again. In the episode where Barry tries to get his speed back, it's also the same episode where Zoom comes to Earth 1 with Caitlin, and he takes over the CCPD. So all the cops have to move to a new location. Joe suggests Jitters. So when Zoom sees that a metahuman that he brought to Earth 1 to take Earth 1 by the name of Rupture, he is furious and speeds off to kill the officers. But before he does, he pulls out one quote that shows that he doesn't fool around. My name is Zoom. Number 8. I've seen Men of Steel die and Dark Knights fall. Legends of Tomorrow. This quote not only stood out, but it was also a reference to two of DC's most popular characters, Superman and Batman. Now in the second episode, Hunter is trying to tell everyone of what's forthcoming when in their quest to try and stop Vandal Savage. And by doing so, he also says this famous quote, I've seen darker days, I've seen Men of Steel die and Dark Knights fall. Now when I heard that quote, I was so excited because I had never heard a quote quite like that before. Number 7. I have no rival. The Flash. In the first episode of Season 3, Barry has created a new timeline called Flashpoint, and he's living in that world, but he's not actually the Flash. Instead, it's Wally West, well, Kid Flash, and his enemy is Edward Claris, the rival. And in their first fight, Wally is trying to understand why Zoom has such a thing against the city, but it turns out he doesn't, and he actually uses the name he has to show that he has no equal, basically, by shouting out, I have no rival. Which, if you ask me, it's a pretty cool quote, to be honest. Number 6. They call me the Flash. The Flash. In Season 2 of The Flash, in the first episode, at the end of it, we see a new character walk into Star Labs. He says his name is Jay Garrick. In the second episode, which follows on from this point, he says that he is not from this Earth, and he says that he knows where Atom Smasher came from when he had already killed his Earth 1 doppelganger. And when Barry is asking how he knows this, he explains that he used to be a speedster on his Earth. And he says, they called me the Flash. Now, at that point, that just made me go crazy, because Jay Garrick in the comic books is the Golden Age Flash, who was a member of the Justice Society of America. Number 5. Welcome to the Suicide Squad, Arrow. In this episode, John Diggle has caught up with his old flame, Lila Michaels, who is now his girlfriend. But when Amanda Waller calls on both of them, it's because she wants them to infiltrate a party by a terrorist called Golem Kadir. But she's enlisting them with Task Force X, which in Arrow consists of Deadshot, Bronze Tiger, and Shrapnel. And Lila and Dig as well. But when the inmates all come out, Floyd Lawton, Deadshot, has to say this. This ain't no task force, let's call it like it is, welcome to the Suicide Squad. At that point, it was clear that one of DC's most popular teams had made its mark in the arrowverse. Until it made its way to the movies. Number 4. Just another weapon in his arsenal, Arrow. In this episode, Laurel's boxing trainer, Ted Grant, who used to be a vigilante himself, called Wildcat, is being accused of murder when he was actually his old partner. And while Ted's old partner had taken him and Laurel captive in a car, Oliver's trying to pull Laurel out of the car crash that they were in, while Roy is keeping Ted's old friend busy. When he's got him in a headlock, he says that you're nothing but another weapon in his arsenal. But when Roy overpowers him, he says, I'm not you. And later when they're down at the bunker, when they're back at the Arrow Cave, I just had to. When they're back down there, Roy says to Oliver that he said that I'm nothing but another weapon in your arsenal. At that point, Oliver got the idea to call for Roy's codename to be Arsenal. Number 3. Everything you touch dies. Arrow. In the mid-season finale, which is episode 9, Oliver is trying to get Felicity's boyfriend, Detective Billy Malone, back, when Prometheus has taken him captive. Prometheus invites Oliver to where he murdered his father, and he asks him if he hesitated when he killed him, or if he was just another name he crossed off his list. But when Prometheus lures Oliver back into the building, it turns out that he thinks he's found Prometheus, so he fires 3 arrows into him, but it turns out, when he pulls the mask off, it was Detective Malone there. And when there was a speaker on Prometheus' suit that Billy was wearing, he says this quote, like I said, everything you touch dies. Since that is Prometheus' true objective, he doesn't want to kill Oliver, he wants him to wish he was dead. Number 2. Now who's the villain, Flash? The Flash. In the first episode of Season 3 of The Flash, called Flashpoint, Barry is keeping the Reverse Flash hostage. And when Barry is starting to lose his memories, of his old past, he goes to the Reverse Flash to find out why. And Thorne says that it's because of his speed. The more he uses it, the faster he loses his memories. When he also says that you need to take me back to that night, he's referring to the night he killed Barry's mother. When Barry tells him to go to hell, he says you're taking both of us there. And after that, he shouts out, now who's the villain, Flash? And at that point, we learned that Reverse Flash wasn't exactly let's just say he wasn't too happy about the situation he was in. Alright, there's no honorable mentions, so let's get right to it. Number 1, you have failed this city, Arrow. Now come on, if we're talking quotes, this had to be number 1. There's no more famous quote than you have failed this city in the entire arrowverse. It's the one thing that Oliver said to everyone he confronted on his father's list. Well, it was that, and the ones that weren't on the list. But through all of Arrow, he has said this quote multiple times. And if you ask me, it's the best quote in the entire Arrowverse. He confronts someone, all he has to say is, you have failed this city. Well guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment what you think about it, and I'll be back next week to give you another top 10 list. See you guys later.